good now.
Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that.
You all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you?
You know, I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Like rat poison. All right, so
It's Division I football! It ain't intramurals!
Thank you all for tuning in to the Hoppy Huddle podcast. I'm Jake. That's Ed. And today we have got what I'm like to call mini rivalry week, because I don't know if you've noticed, but there are a lot of rivalries this week. Some of them very hated, very intense. And I'm excited to tune in and watch them. And yeah, this is gonna be a great week of college football. Don't put your food money on our locks. Or
Hey, I went 4-2 last week, and let's make a note. Let's get this out of the table here. Last week, I couldn't make the show. I texted you my picks. You started the show, and you said you were going to mention them, and then you didn't. I went 4-2 for crying out loud.
I know.
It was a week. It was a great week, and you can't even mention my picks.
I know. I'm at fault on that one.
Yeah, well,
You
I'm
know,
going to give you my picks. You want winners, you hang here. I'm going to give you winners, including a first half and a third quarter lock.
And you know what? I'm going to give out my picks too, because it seems like I found an edge, and that's being against Vegas. And everyone knows, it's just as hard to go 60% against Vegas as it is to go 60% for Vegas. So if you're feeling confident, you can just fade me, and that might make you some money. So
yeah. Well, no, listen, this is another great week ahead. We got matchups in all the good windows.
So many
juicy little Friday night matchups. Yeah, it's good week ahead. First, we got to talk about the man who knows how to get paid. This man was making $425,000 at JMU 4 years ago. And now he's getting $11.6 million a year at Indiana.
Number three highest paid coach in college football.
Crazy. Everybody ought to owe James Franklin 1% finder's fee is what they ought to owe. Curt Cignetti, man, good for him. Because the dude was going to get paid somewhere, and Indiana was like, we just might as well get ahead of this. Good for him.
Yeah.
So that was the big news of the day.
Yeah. The interesting thing, Indiana seems to be doing the Texas. A lot of people are saying like, oh, this is the Big Ten. Any Big Ten job could do this. Partially that's true, but a lot of it, what people don't quite understand, is that Indiana had been heavily investing into football for about 2 years before Cignetti showed up from a financial perspective. And they've got some mega boosters there now that are willing to pony up the money now that Indiana's winning. And so it's kind of a bit of the Texas Tech strategy just in the Big Ten, right? In this free market, you can spend, and they have guys that are willing to spend. But this wouldn't work at every Big Ten school. A school, that historically has better performance in Indiana, but doesn't have as big of a boosters as Indiana. For example, UCLA or Purdue or, Northwestern, if Ryan wants to spend the money, maybe. But this is kind of, people are shocked, but if you know behind the scenes, it's not as shocking as you would think.
Yeah. So that just means a lot of people are going to get paid. I mean, I think everybody's going to get pay raises across the board. And all this talk that the coach's salary is going to go back to normalize, there's going to be a reversion to the mean.
No,
just isn't happening. So anyway, that was the big news of the day. All right. Where are we going to start for this week? I've got some winners, but where do you want to go?
I think we should start on Friday night, and the big Friday night game, or one of them. There are two big Friday night games. Let's go with Louisville, Miami. At Miami. I am betting this one. I have got Miami minus 13.5. I think Miami's a wagon. I think they're an absolute machine. I think their offensive and defensive lines are some of the best, if not the best, in the country. They got Francis Mauigoa, the tackle, and they got Ruben Bain and Hakeem. No, what's the other guy? Akeem Mesidor, the other edge rusher, opposite or defensive lineman opposite Ruben Bain. Mark Fletcher, running back's been fantastic, and Carson Beck has been efficient and has really, looked like 2 years ago Carson Beck and not last year Carson Beck. I think Louisville. I like Jeff Brom. Miller Moss is put up good stats. He's an okay quarterback. He's serviceable. He's a good college quarterback. But I don't think Louisville has the dudes on the offensive line to pass block for him. I don't think that Louisville has anywhere near the defense that you're going to need to stop Miami. And I think 13.5, I think Miami clearly wins by more than 2 touchdowns. So give me Miami minus 13.5 as one of my bets.
Yeah, we're in agreement on this lock of the week.
Bang.
I'm with you, 13.5. This is pretty easy one to me. Miami's coming off a bye, and I know Louisville is too. But this is, if this were on the road, I'd have a little bit more pause. But coming off a bye, and the other thing I think Miami does too, Miami has to be looking at this point. Miami's played all their hard games. This is the hardest game left. I think they know it. I don't think there's going to be a let up here. I think they'll be prepared. And then the talk is going to be, you're going to get to late November where they got to play a couple road games and maybe bad weather at Virginia Tech and at Pitt, where that could be their slip ups. But this is the only really rough test they have for the next 5 weeks. I don't think it's going to phase them. Louisville hasn't been bad defensively, but even if they hold Miami to some points, I just don't see Louisville can't run the ball. They're terrible running the ball. And I just don't, and going against this Miami defense isn't going to help. So I just see
Miami's one of the best run defenses in the country.
Yeah. This may not be pretty. This may be 27-6 or something like that. I don't know if this is going to be a real high scoring game. But give me, I got 13.5. I'll lay the points to take Miami.
I agree. Except I just don't know that, like you say, it's not going to be high scoring. I don't really can Louisville really stop Miami enough? I'm not sure.
I don't think their defense is terrible, especially the passing defense. I don't think Louisville's passing defense is terrible.
Okay.
And again, coming off a bye, you don't know how sometimes teams coming off a bye, I feel like takes a little while to get the engine running again. So I just don't know if Miami's going to score 40. They may score upper 20s.
That's fair.
They're going to cover. I just don't know. We're going to see a big output against Louisville. So that's my thought.
All right. Do you got any thoughts on the other Friday night game?
Well,
Nebraska, Minnesota?
let me get to my Nebraska sheet here. I think the line's a little big for me for Nebraska, and it started jumping up this week, and I get a little concerned. I don't think Nebraska is going to lose. Where's my Nebraska notes here? Hold on. Let me go up here. Here we go. I mean, what's the line now?
6.5, right?
9. I know it's up to 9.5 now.
Wait, 9.5?
Yeah, it's jumped up. I think it's jumped up.
Okay, I got the backwards.
Let me check FanDuel again. I thought this thing got up to 9.5. Yeah, no, 7.5.
I'm seeing 7, 6.5.
Okay.
6.5 heavily juiced. I'm seeing 7.
Here's my issue with this game is that I get a little concerned with the distractions this week with Matt Rule. Is this going to have any impact on this team? They go on the road, and Minnesota's they're not bad. I mean, they can't score, but defensively they can hold their own. If this were at Nebraska on a Saturday or at Minnesota on a Saturday, I'd feel better. I just don't know. Boy, it's a tough line. I think Nebraska wins. Wouldn't shock me if it's closer on the line. I'm not betting this game. I'm
not betting it either.
Nebraska has the number 1 passing defense in the country. If you look at yards per game,
I didn't realize that.
They're only giving up 118.
Minnesota doesn't pass the ball though. So,
well, yeah, exactly. So that's why I just don't think. I don't think Minnesota's really going to create any issues here. Who's quietly putting together a really good season? It's Dylan Raiola.
Not quietly.
Loudly
putting together a good season.
I know we were pretty critical of him last year. We were critical of him last year, but he's really starting to make
he's gotten better.
Some throws, and he's starting to get places. The ball comes out quick. He is really
now that completion percentage goes way up when you throw in a million screen passes.
I know, but everybody throws screen passes. Did you watch Georgia last week? That's the only pass Gunnar Stockton ever threw. It was a
Well,
screen
I'm
pass.
not.
I mean,
We'll talk. We'll get there.
but my point is that Dylan Raiola has really become. Last year we were critical and wondered if he could ever take the step. I think he's
You're
taken
right.
the step. Dana Holgerson has been a big
His
difference.
decision making is also better in games. He's not always trying to make the insane throw. He takes some of those underneath. He takes what the defense gives them, which was part of his problem last year. He wasn't doing that.
Well, and I think having Dana Holgerson as offensive coordinator makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Imagine that, one, you get a little maturity. Two, you get a better offensive coordinator. Hey, Billy Napier, did you ever think about this? But that makes a difference.
Alternate world, Billy Napier hires Dana Holgerson.
Yeah, I know. But this is what happens. I mean, freshman quarterbacks need to grow, and they need an offensive coordinator. So, I agree with Braun in the chat. Some of his throws look incredible, and others awful. I bet it'll be even better next year. I understand.
Yeah.
I think he will be a really good quarterback his third year.
And you say if UNC gets blown out on Friday, are we calling for Bill's job?
No.
Not if UNC gets blown out on Friday. We're already calling for Bill's job. This is beyond. This was beyond cooked weeks ago. This anybody who's falling behind the scenes, what's happening at UNC?
The Titans need to hire. He can fix the Titans better than he can fix the Tar Heels.
This was never going to work. Retrospectively, it's 2020, right? Hindsight's 2020, but the only reason he isn't fired already is because the buyout's large, and they're hoping that he'll take some other job in the offseason, or set him up with a TV job or something, because this is an absolute abject disaster. And the faster he's out of Chapel Hill, the better for that program. They're going to have a complete rebuild the next coach that comes in there. It would shock me. Truly, it would shock me if Chapel Bill Belichick is the head coach of North Carolina going into next year.
Yeah, probably so. All right. Any other games Friday night? I didn't really. We're not going to talk about Carolina, California. I don't really care about that game. I will not stay up at 10:30 to watch it.
No, I will not either.
Yeah. So,
all right. Let's see here. Moving on to Saturday, at the noon slot, we've got Vanderbilt LSU. Did you know this is the first time that Vanderbilt has been favored in a conference game this century? Did you know that?
I did not know that. Wow.
They are favored against LSU -2.5 at home. This is a crazy retrospective on the programs where they're in right now, because LSU, Brian Kelly, they're looking pretty mid. Vanderbilt, they've struggled, but with some of the better teams, but they're a really solid team. Diego Pavia, they've got one of the best rushing attacks in the entire country. I think they've got second or third highest yards per carry of any team in America. They have solid defense. They control the clock, time of possession. They're a fantastic team. And when Vanderbilt gets going, everything just seems easy, right? They just seem like they've got a button, they push it, and they go. Contrasting that, everything just seems difficult when you're LSU this year. It just seems like to get every yard, you have to strain, and nothing is easy. Like they can't run the ball. They did run the ball a little last week, they got some yards last week, but I think this is the loss that breaks LSU, and I think Vanderbilt wins the game. I think they cover. I think this is huge. I think this propels Vanderbilt and keeps them in contention for an SEC championship or playoff appearance. I think this with this loss, if it happens, Brian Kelly's hot seat starts immediately boiling, and it's kind of a bold pick, but it's not really, because they're favored. It's -2.5, and do you really think LSU's defense is going to stop that Vanderbilt rushing attack? I don't have faith that they'll do that.
No. And I mean, listen, I think if you listen loud enough, teams tell you who they are. And LSU is telling us they're not a very good offensive team. And I know Nussmeier's hurt somehow. I don't really understand what he's doing, but he's not very effective. The rushing offense is did you lose me?
Oh, we're good. We're back.
Yeah, I don't know. I have some internet problems today, must be, I don't know. Who knows what it is. But this team is, I was saying, if you look hard enough and listen hard enough, these teams tell us who they are. And LSU's telling us they're just not very good offensively. Nussmeier just can't get things done. The running game is non-existent. They're getting no offensive run push on the O-line.
Yeah.
And this is just a bad matchup, I think, for them. If this game was LSU at night, I'd give them a shot, but they're not getting into that good mojo at night. And Vanderbilt is number one in the country in yards per carry.
Oh, number one now. Okay. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, they're number one, 6.6 yards a carry. Their offensive line is really good. They're going to be up for the Joe Moore Award. I mean, this is going to be – I think Vanderbilt's going to control the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to control the pace of play. They're probably going to lead in possession, time of possession. LSU's got to create turnovers. That's the only way LSU wins this game. They have no impressive wins. And I think they lose. And Brian Kelly will be on the hot seat after this, is my projection.
I mean, and the way
I do have them as a pick of the week. I'll take Vanderbilt minus 2.5. I think they win.
I agree. I think Harold Perkins would have to have one of his takeover games, which has happened like 2 or 3 times in the time he's been at LSU, where he just goes off. And if that happens, then they could win. But it would have to be something.
So before we leave, go to the next game. Is Brian Kelly going to leave and get out to restart the clock somewhere else?
I don't know. That's not a bad idea. I do say one thing about this LSU team. You know what it really reminds me of? And I made this comparison before. It really reminds me of every mid-2000s Brian Kelly Notre Dame team, right? They'll beat up onto bad teams, and it just they've got good players, and seem like all the pieces together, but then just everything they do in the big games is difficult. They never can quite become elites, even though they've got talent. And, their offense is kind of sluggish. Like, it just looks like those early 2000s Notre Dame teams that you always watch with Brian Kelly that could never quite get there. Yeah. And that's just, it seems like the same team to me.
So here's what I want to play around with. LSU's ranked 10th. They're 5-1. Their opponent's winning percentage is 18-12. Their only losses to number 5 Ole Miss. Yet Washington is 5-1. Their opponent's winning percentage, they're 22-13, and their only loss is number 1 Ohio State. Explain that to me.
You can't explain it. How you explain it is the preseason rankings.
Same thing with Missouri. I mean, go down Missouri. Same thing. Number 16, 5-1. Their opponents' records are 15-16. Their loss is number 6 Alabama. I mean, Washington is getting screwed. This SEC bias is out of control.
I think it's preseason bias, but
it's preseason bias, but it's also SEC bias. All right, enough of that. We agree on Vandy. So,
yes. All right.
Orgeron, I'd say bring Orgeron back as interim. So
yeah. Also at the noon slot, we've got one of the rivalries of this week. That is the rivalry, known by no other name on this program. It is not the Blue Bonnet Battle. It is the rivalry between the Baylor Bears and the TCU Horned Frogs. And I'm very unbiased in this one.
Of course you are.
I will be at this game, so I'm going to be very, very pumped up. So Hoppy Huddle on the road, I'm going to be there. I will say Baylor is plus 3.5. That feels like free money. Like, what are we doing? Sawyer Robertson is the best quarterback in the country. I said it. It's a hot take, but it's true. He is absolutely elite. Michael Trigg, the best tight end in the country. He even is like the midseason best tight end in the country. He's leading for the tight end award, whatever it's called. I forget. I think TCU's defense has been shown at this point to be pretty suspect against both the pass and the run. Also, TCU may be missing 2 of their starting offensive linemen going into this game. So I got Baylor plus 3.5. I think Baylor's offense is basically Baylor's passing offense is basically unstoppable. Bryson Washington, the running back, is good as well. I think they go on the road. They beat TCU. Josh Hoover, he's a good quarterback. I'll give him that. They've got some weapons on TCU's offense, and they will score on Baylor because everybody does. But I think the Baylor passing attack too much for TCU's defense, and I think they win and cover.
Well, the worst part of Baylor's defense is the rushing attack, and TCU doesn't run the ball well. So you got to at least give that. Now, On the flip side, Baylor obviously has the number one passing offense in the country at 349 yards a game.
Yep.
And TCU has like one of the worst passing defenses in the country. So this is going to be a problem for TCU. I mean, they're 100th out of their passing defense is 100th out of all the schools. They're out of the Power Four, they're 58th out of 68. I mean, they're just terrible. Yeah. So first of all, I think that this game is going to be high scoring. These two teams pace of play too. These two teams are number 2 and number 8 at pace of play. I mean, these are going to move up and down the field. Yeah, I tend to lean Baylor in this one. What scares me is that this feels like a field goal game because of Baylor's defense. I think if Baylor could just get a stop or two, I think they're probably a better team, because I think defensive TCU just feels one-dimensional, and that's really just passing. They really have no other components to them.
Baylor can run the ball on offense as well, is the thing.
They can run a little bit. This should be an entertaining game. I think the over
number one and number 2 quarterbacks in passing yards in FBS going against each other.
Yeah.
Sawyer Robertson, Josh Huber. Like, if you want a barn burner of a matchup in the noon slot, if you're bored with Michigan, Washington, which we'll get to in a second, flip on the rivalry, man. Going to be a great game. These teams do not like each other. Baylor won last year on a field goal. I'm
Baylor
excited.
has a chance here. I mean, you listen to all the talk shows, all the podcasts. Baylor has a chance the next 2 weeks to get back into this Big 12 race.
Yeah, especially if Arizona State loses to Texas Tech tonight, which very well might happen. We'll talk about that later.
And now again, you got to go Cincinnati, but Cincinnati I don't think scares anybody. They really haven't played that many teams yet. I'm not too scared of them. But you beat Utah, I mean, you beat TCU, then all of a sudden things open up for you for a match against Utah at home.
Well, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. All right.
Yeah. Oh, is Sawyer over 311 a passing yards a lock? Yeah, I think if you're doing in-game player,
I mean, 311 is a crazy line. So I don't know, man.
I mean, the average is 349 a game, so right. I think 311 feels pretty good. And I mean, again, TCU's passing defense, they're just dreadful. They give up. They're 100th out of 136 in the country. They're giving up an average 241. 311 seems like a lot.
Michael Trigg and all those receivers, Kobe Prentice, Cole Wilson, they're going to feast on TCU's defense.
Yeah, this will be a fun game to watch. I'll definitely have it on one of my screens. So I know you'll be at the game, but I'll be enjoying it in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? I might be on TV. Sometimes they put the guy in the crazy outfit on TV.
Yes,
especially after a Baylor touchdown, which will be me.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Next up, let's talk about
player props. I'd like to do player props.
Yeah, Sawyer anytime touchdown. Add that to your parlay as an absolute lock. Not good odds, but it'll juice your parlay a little bit. Let's talk about Washington, Michigan.
Okay.
What do you think? Okay.
Well, I mean, here's the Michigan had a little come to earth meeting the other day. I mean, and I've been saying this all year. You've been higher on Michigan. I don't hate Michigan. I just don't think they're as good as people have been pumping them up. And USC exposed them. They exposed them for the fact they can't pass the ball. They exposed them that their passing defense isn't very good. And USC picked them apart for that. I think Washington's what's the line in this game? It's Michigan 6.5. I'm not betting this one, but if I was, I'd probably take Washington with that 6.5.
Yeah.
I think Damon Williams is pretty special. I think Washington can run the ball and throw the ball. I don't love what's the strength of Washington defensively is rushing, and so I think that's going strength on strength to Michigan. Again, I don't think Bryce Underwood scares me. Now that you got to throw the big house into it, but I like Washington in this spot. I don't think this isn't Michigan from 2 years ago. So please try to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I'll try. I just don't have a good feeling for this game. I struggled over this. I went back and forth, but it's just neither one of these teams seems like clearly is going to have a huge advantage here. I lean Michigan just because I think they'll be able to get pressure on Damon Williams, and I think as we saw in the Ohio State game when he's under pressure, he struggled a lot on offense. So that's kind of the angle that I see it from. But again, I was higher on Michigan coming into the season. I've come back down to earth a little bit. I adjust my expectations as we all do. I lean Michigan. It's at home. I wouldn't pick them to cover at all. It's Michigan minus 6.5.
You give me 6.5. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good.
I wouldn't pick them to cover. I think they probably just win. They're pretty good at home, and so I don't know. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Damon Williams just went off, and this was the game that we were waiting for from him. I genuinely have no idea. I'm excited. I wish I could watch this game live. I'll be following on the score on my phone, and I'll probably watch the condensed version on Sunday.
Washington, Damon Williams is the number 1 opponent-adjusted passing offense per play. Just saying. So,
Wouldn't be crazy.
Again, I think Washington team. This game is at no. This game is at Michigan, right?
Yeah.
This is at Michigan.
Yeah.
And I think
if it were at Washington, I would have a totally different take.
Yeah. So
tough place to play. All right.
It is.
Next up, let's you want to go to the 3:30 slot?
Well, we haven't talked about Georgia Tech Duke.
Oh yeah, Georgia Tech Duke.
We got a couple of games at noon side. Georgia Tech Duke. I find the funny thing is Duke's a 1.5 point favorite over Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I'm locking this up. Georgia Tech plus 1.5.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia Tech 1.5. I didn't understand this line when I saw it. It hasn't moved this week. I picked it up. Explain to me how. I mean, now by the way, can we talk about Manny Diaz for a second?
Yeah. What about him?
I think he could be a good candidate for Penn State.
No.
I'm telling you.
So.
The man, first of all, he was running out of town of Miami. He wasn't that bad of a Miami coach. He coached defense. Remember the defense that was so great at Penn State?
Yeah.
Guess who was the coach of that?
I know.
Defense.
Yeah. I know.
He's done wonders at Duke with Duke. He had him a 9-win team last year.
These are all great points. I just don't think you pay James Franklin $50 million to go hire Manny Diaz.
I'm not sure you're going to find people to replicate James Franklin, but that's a whole nother matter.
Well, yeah, you're right. But I think they're going to try it. They're going to get somebody.
The problem with this game is, I mean, I understand the line. Georgia Tech runs the ball really well. To me, Duke just doesn't have. I don't think they match up well with that.
Haynes King
and for some reason, Duke is struggling throwing the ball. I mean, they really are.
Darian Mensah has not taken the step forward we thought he would. He actually seems like he's taken a step back with tougher competition. I don't know. I like Duke's defense. I like the playmaking, the kind of baller playmaking that Mensah does sometimes, but I just don't feel like that offense is like taking advantage of his skill set in the best way that it could be. I think Haynes King is too good. I think that Georgia Tech's defense is really solid. I love the scheme there that they run. Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator there, runs. And I don't know why Georgia Tech's not favored in this. Georgia Tech undefeated in the ACC. They've had a really good season so far. And I don't see why they're not fair. I mean, yeah, we probably think lower of Clemson after that, but they beat Clemson. And they've kind of, they haven't exactly killed everybody that they've played, but none of them are really fraudulent either. Like they still kind of owned, except for what was the Wake Forest game where they just won on the random play. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm nervous because when I see a line like this where it doesn't make any sense, I'm like, what does Vegas know that I don't?
Yeah,
but I'm trusting my gut here, and I'm saying Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and I know Duke's undefeated, but I still think Georgia Tech's the better team.
Oh no, Duke's 4-2, aren't they?
Undefeated in the ACC. They lost to Tulane in Illinois.
Yeah.
Braun's right in the chat. But I think Georgia Tech also understands they beat Duke. They get a little bit easier path. They're going to be heavy favorites in the next 4 games. I don't think they're going to let this one slip by. I think Duke wins this. I mean, Georgia Tech wins this one.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Okay. You want to go to stay in the noon, kind of noonish slot, Oklahoma, South Carolina?
Oh yeah, I mean, we can talk
It's
Oklahoma, South
12:45.
Carolina.
It's a weird time.
I don't really have a ton of thoughts on Oklahoma, South Carolina. I just think Oklahoma is going to beat them. I
Well,
think South
can you
Carolina's.
tell? Is Mateer? I assume Mateer's playing.
I don't even if he's not. I don't. South Carolina's not a good football team.
No,
Oklahoma can
no,
beat him without Mateer. I don't think they need Mateer to beat him.
no. South
Their
Carolina and
defense,
offensively, South Carolina can't score.
they
They
can't
just
score
can't.
on offense, and you can't win games if you can't score. And so I think Oklahoma's going to win this game, and that's
Yeah,
kind of all I got here.
yeah. I don't think there's really the great mystery to me is still, and we saw this last week in the Texas game, is Oklahoma's inability to run the ball, and I think that's going to be a problem. They can get
Yeah.
past this game, but then after that, they got Ole Miss, Tennessee, Bama, Missouri, LSU. They got to figure this out soon.
Yeah. Well,
So,
what can you do?
yeah, I'm not betting this game. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's get to the 3:30 window, 3:34
Yes.
window.
Ole Miss at Georgia. Dun dun dun.
All right, hear me out.
I'm hearing you out. Let me hear.
Georgia has been dreadful in the first half, and I had the stat, and I don't have it in front of me.
Oh boy.
I think they've been behind like 9 out of the last 10 games at halftime. Give me Ole Miss. I think I get actually plus points, plus 3.5 the first half. Yeah. Ole Miss plus 3.5 for the first half spread.
You're crazy, man.
All right. And then Georgia has dominated the third quarter. Give me Georgia minus 2.5 in the third quarter
Are
spread.
you guys seeing this?
Okay.
What is
I'm just telling you.
What is this
All right.
guy doing?
I just had to get that out there. I'm giving you free money, folks. Go ahead and make it.
Yeah, you're giving
Now let's talk
Vegas
about the
free
game.
money. They're gonna build another wing on the Bellagio off these bets.
All right, let's talk about the actual game here. I'm just telling you what you could do with this. I'll even pull up my stats. Listen, this the difference to this game to me, I mean, I can pull up all the stats we want, and I will in a second as I can find my sheet. This feels like a game Georgia has to have, and it doesn't feel like a game Ole Miss has. But Ole Miss doesn't have to have it.
No, they don't.
And to me, that's the difference. And it's played at Georgia. Right there, I feel like there's your difference.
Yeah, and the thing here is, I think both of these teams are thoroughly overrated. So
yeah, they are. I mean, in certain respects.
Yeah, and I don't think I think the only elite team in the SEC is Alabama. I don't think either one of these
Texas
teams.
A&M. You're giving out Texas A&M. You don't think they're
maybe
elite?
Texas A&M, maybe. But I don't think it's either one of these two teams. I think I'll just look at last week. Ole Miss struggled with Washington State. They struggle with Kentucky. Like they are not a perfect football team by any stretch of the imagination. This is Trinity Chambliss' first road SEC start. It's a tough environment in Sanford Stadium. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be loud. And so I think Ole Miss may struggle in this game. But also on the counterpoint.
Ole Miss, in order for Ole Miss has to win, they have to come up. They have to find stop Georgia's rush, and that's what they haven't been good at. Yeah. Because I think they'll do fine from a passing perspective. And then flip side, they have to. What's Georgia's weakness defensively? It's the back end. It's the secondary.
I was about to say the intermediate pass game.
Yeah, and that does favor Ole Miss. I mean, so there is. I mean, I don't think Ole Miss. This isn't going to be the blowout that Ole Miss had last year. I think this game's going to be much closer. Georgia's got to run. Georgia needs to do a little bit what they did to Auburn. They need to control the game, time possession, no turnovers, run the ball. That's the weakness of Ole Miss's defense. And make sure Frazier, get Gunnar Stockton hitting those screen passes, those bubble screens, and just wear Ole Miss down. Don't let them have the ball a lot. Don't turn the ball over, and you'll win the game. Now, are they going to win by 7.5? That line seems awfully high. I'm not betting it, but that's a big line.
Yeah, I'm not betting this game either. I don't know who's going to win. I kind of lean Georgia just because it's at home, and I'm not sure if this Ole Miss team is super at that level. I think Georgia's got flaws too. So I would not be shocked if they ended up winning this, but
Yeah.
I lean Georgia just because Ole Miss has come up short in these spots a lot more often than Georgia has. This is a high pressure situation on the road, and I think Georgia's got better athletes at a lot of positions, and I think Georgia's defense is better than Ole Miss's defense, and so with all those factors, I think I don't think Lane has got the horses as much as he had last year, especially on defense. So give me Georgia to win. I'm not going to pick them. I'm not betting them, but I think Georgia wins. If Ole Miss wins, though, man, they are sitting pretty.
If Ole Miss does, yeah. And so that's why I think Georgia can't afford to lose this game. If Georgia loses this game, then they may be out of the play. They're getting to the point of being out of the playoffs because their schedule still has a lot of tough games. Ole Miss, their schedule. Ole Miss schedule. I mean, you get South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State. I mean, Ole Miss wins, and you can almost lock a playoff spot in.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they get Oklahoma, but then they'll play Oklahoma. Then they're going to be double-digit favorites in every other game after.
If Georgia loses, that's going to be in a spot they haven't been in a long time, which is them not being a good football team.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I don't think they will, though. I think Georgia wins. This is the revenge of the Kirby. So Kirby Speed Racers, Super Smash Bros, whatever you want to call it. All right. Let's go. Where should we go next? Let's go to the 4 p.m. slot. This is Texas Tech.
About Ohio State.
Oh, I was going to say Texas Tech at Arizona State.
Okay, we're going to skip right over Ohio State.
We can come at Ohio State. Do you really a lot of Ohio State thoughts?
Kill Wisconsin. All right,
yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? Right? They might as well be playing the Citadel. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Texas Tech and Arizona State. Sam Leavitt looks like is going to play in this game.
Yes,
looks like at this point.
Yes, that seems to be where the people are leaning. The line reflects that. It's only 7.5. Texas Tech minus 7.5. Doesn't matter. Give me Texas Tech. They're a wagon. I've bet on them like 4 weeks in a row, and they've covered every time, dude.
I got Texas Tech minus 8.5. I'll take the 8.5. I'll take them. They're a wagon right now.
As much as I am, a Baylor grad, Baylor alum, and I don't want to see Lubbock succeeding. They're a wagon. They are pretty much a lock at this point to go to the playoff, barring unexpected collapse from Texas Tech or injury. Right. I think their offense is high flying, fast paced. They score lots of points. They've got a really solid defense, especially defensive front. And Baron Morton is efficient and accurate. The running back, Cameron Dickey, is also kind of a beast. Arizona State side, Raleek Brown, the running back, I really like him. He's rushed for almost 600 yards at this point. He was injured, I think, one game as well. He's been pretty good so far. And Sam Leavitt, of course, a fantastic quarterback, but probably maybe still dinged up if he plays, which I'm pretty sure he is. But I just think the Arizona State defense is not enough to stop Texas Tech's passing attack. And I think Arizona State's offense, which they've run the ball a lot more this year than they did last year. Jordan Tyson is fantastic at wide receiver. But I think without Texas Tech will be able to fill up the middle and probably stop the run a lot more than the other teams Arizona State's faced. And they may struggle to pass the ball efficiently if they can't run the ball to counterbalance that.
Yeah. Right now, Texas Tech is without a doubt the best in the Big 12. They're going to be double-digit favorites in every other game this year. It's going to take an upset. But we do see these upsets. These things do happen. And Arizona State's as about as well positioned as anybody in the Big 12. I just don't know if this is going to be it. I think if anybody's going to get them, it's going to be on the road at Kansas State in a few weeks. I don't feel like this is the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Although, it is at Arizona State, so you gotta factor that in. But even still. All right. Where do you want to go next?
Oh, let's talk about Wazoo and Virginia. Well, let's stay in the 6 o'clock hour first. Let's go to Washington State and Florida. No, I'm sorry, Mississippi State and Florida. Mississippi State's going to the Swamp.
Right.
It will presumably, all reports indicate that it will be Billy Napier's final game.
Yeah.
Multiple reports out of Gainesville are saying he will be fired after the game. Florida should win, but who knows? We'll see if his players are going to play. They'll probably play hard for him. I think they like Billy, and it appears to be it. So Florida will join Penn State and looking for a coach here very soon. But the other game in the 6:30 hour, oh no, I'm sorry, that was the 4:15 game. The 6:30 is Washington State at number 18, Virginia.
Dude,
We'll see if
be a game.
Virginia. We'll see if Virginia can actually score. I mean, Ole Miss struggled with Washington State last week. I don't think Virginia's going to have any problems scoring against Washington State. I think Virginia can score some points.
Virginia scores on everybody.
They score on everybody. I think they're going to score 30, 35 points, and they're going to win easily. And Virginia is just going to keep chugging along. Everybody's forgetting about them.
No ACC losses, undefeated in conference.
Undefeated in the ACC. I heard Josh Pate talking about ACC the other day on his podcast. He's like, well, it'll probably be Georgia Tech or it could be Duke. Hey, where's Virginia talk? Nobody's talking about Virginia.
They don't have a hard schedule.
They have an easy schedule.
They could absolutely run the table.
There's only going to be one more game they're not a double-digit favorite in, and that's going to Duke in 4 weeks. So,
yep.
Anyway, we're going to get some. I think UVA wins this game going away. I don't really know. I can't see the line in this game because I'm in Virginia and you can't bet these games, which is ridiculous. But Washington State's terrible. So give me UVA. Go who's wahoo wah.
The line's UVA minus 16.5.
Ooh, that's a big line.
Because Virginia's good.
Okay. All right. I'll take Washington State in the points. But
Virginia's good. That's why.
Man,
Vegas
I never trust the Who's with that big a line. But
Vegas knows, man. Vegas knows.
Virginia's going to win money line. All right.
Yeah, money line minus 16.5. I'm sure you'll get some good juice there.
That's right. All right. Let's go to the night hour. We got a lot of good stuff tonight. Which one do you want to talk about?
The night hour is fantastic. Where do you want to start? Let's start with. Hey, do you know what weekend it is? I don't know if you've done any math, but it's
the third Saturday in October.
1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the third Saturday in October.
It is.
Man,
what are we gonna get?
What happens on the third Saturday in October? Is there anything important? It's not quite Halloween.
That Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, Tennessee, Bama. Man, what a game! I'm so happy that the Tennessee is good again. So this rivalry means something, and I know. It's really easy to hate on both of these schools. They're both very hated by everybody that's not them. And that's okay because I love watching it. And this is at Alabama. And Tennessee has got them in kneeling the last couple of times, right? They broke the streak, the field goal.
When was the last time? Do you know the last time Tennessee won in
Hey, let me finish my thought. Okay. All right. Tennessee has not won in Bryant-Denny in living memory for me, a long time. Probably, I think, 18 years? What did you have that stat off the top of your head?
2003.
2003, right. I was 2 years old, 2 years old. And you know what? It's not gonna be this year because Alabama is gonna destroy them.
I don't know if it's gonna destroy them.
I'm not betting them. I'm not betting this game. I don't know who's gonna win. But I do know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to cover. Alabama's going to win this game. Alabama is the only elite team in the SEC besides maybe Texas A&M. You can make the argument the two of them are up there. Alabama's going to win this game. Tennessee's not coming out of there. We love Aguilar. He's great. He's a great story. We like what they're doing. But that Tennessee defense gave up a lot of points to Georgia. And this Alabama offense is way better than Georgia. Especially through the air.
Yeah, I hate when we agree so much, but you're absolutely right. I mean, this
Jam Miller's gonna eat them alive too.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think I feel like the over is going to hit in this game. You're right, Bron. I think the over definitely.
For sure.
The weakness of this Tennessee defense is the back end, and that is not what you want to face with Alabama, with Ty Simpson and these receivers.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if that spread at 8.5 or 7.5. I don't know if Bama will cover that. That seems to be it.
'Cause
Could be
this might just be 48-45. Like,
well, or it could be one of these backdoor covers, where Tennessee scores late and you get a backdoor cover, which
right.
that's kind of has the feeling to me. But I definitely feel like there's going to be some points here. Let me tell you the path of how Tennessee could win this game. I think there is a path. Tennessee, the strength of their team is the defense. The strength of their team is, or at least the rushing defense, I should say. The strength of their game is running the ball. They got to find a way to control the clock, keep Alabama off the field, run the ball, and they got to get some turnovers. They got to get Ty Simpson to throw some interceptions. And if Jam Miller's out of this game, that does change it a little bit. I don't think we know if Jam
we don't know his status, do we?
No, we don't. He's in the concussion protocol. We don't know. But if Jam Miller's out, if they can create some turnovers, we do not know if he's going to be. I did not see injury reports tonight.
There's a clear, noticeable difference in Alabama's rushing attack with and without Jam Miller.
Yes,
he's a huge upgrade over everybody else they've got behind him.
So there is a path there that I could see Tennessee making this close, getting a win. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's path's very likely.
Yeah.
So
I could see it. All right. Next at the we'll jump to, we'll talk USC Notre Dame. USC Notre Dame. This is a storied rivalry in college football. This is at Notre Dame. USC fresh off their big Michigan win. They seem to have really figured it out on offense. They're running the ball well. They're throwing the ball well. Jade Maeda.
Are they running the ball well? They're 50th out of 136.
They ran the ball well against Michigan.
No, I thought you USC. Are you talking? I thought you said Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
No, USC. Did I say Notre Dame?
No, I thought you said
I meant
Notre
USC.
Dame. My bad.
Yeah. No, USC.
Yeah.
They're running the ball well. Makai Lemon is uncoverable. He's one of the biggest breakout stars on the receiving position this year. He's elite. And their defense, while not the greatest, definitely looks a lot better than many other Lincoln Riley defenses. I like CJ Carr for Notre Dame. I think he's a great quarterback. He's done really well. I like the Notre Dame running backs, although they've struggled a lot because of the drop off at offensive line and run blocking. So I don't think you can really count on their rushing attack, like you were saying. And, this defense is not the same Notre Dame defense as last year. We figured that out pretty easily after 2 games. They are not elite. They're okay on defense. I like Marcus Freeman. He's a good defensive coach, and I like the trajectory of Notre Dame long term. But I got USC in this one. I think they are. I think they're the team that are going to win this game. It's 9.5 was the line.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the reason for that is there's supposed to be weather. It's at Notre Dame. There's supposed to be weather in this game. It's supposed to be rain and wind. And I don't think it matters because give me USC plus 9.5 and give me USC to win this game. I'm absolutely betting USC plus 9.5. I have, I learned from my mistakes. I doubted USC coming into the year. Man, they are humming. I like them. I've changed my mind on them. I think they're a great team, and I think they're going to beat Notre Dame at home.
Well, I've been on this wagon all year. I've been telling you they're good. I said before the season they were good. You didn't believe me. I kept saying it. I'm on this wagon. I'll take the 9.5 points. This is one of my locks of the week, USC plus 9.5. I also think they're going to win the game outright.
Yeah.
But I'll take when anybody's giving me 9.5 on a team I think is going to win money line. I'll take the 9.5. This is people don't realize this is the best offense in the country. When you think about it, opponent adjusted per play, they're number one.
Okay.
They are. I'm just telling you the stats. You can argue with it.
Sure. Statistically, opponent adjusted, they are number one offense in the country.
Yeah. But so passing yards are number 2 behind Baylor, 326 a game. Rushing, they're 16th in the country. They're scoring. They're 45.5 points a game, 3rd in the country.
Yeah, I think the best offense though is Ohio State. They're just not trying for an entire half.
Well, okay, all right. Well, yeah, and SEC never loses any games hypothetically. Come on. Let's stats have to mean something because they're actually what happens.
Stats mean something. Stats aren't everything.
Now, here's my only concern about this game and the defense is better. The rushing defense is much better. I get concerned with the passing defense, and CJ Carr has become a very good quarterback
He's good.
quickly.
He's
for
a
this.
good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. I worry that USC can. Altmaier did this a few weeks ago, and that's the reason they lost this game. They couldn't stop him. I worry that we get into a shootout, kind of like the Texas A&M Notre Dame game. I think that could be a problem. You know, in the chat, they talk about if Notre Dame's defense locks in. Notre Dame's defense is not like it was last year. And the other problem I have with this year's Notre Dame defense,
I don't think they can lock in.
I don't think they can. I think they're good every downs, but they tend to give up big negative plays and explosive plays. That's where they break
who
down.
Loves explosive plays? That USC offense.
Bingo. That's the problem. They're not facing some of these other teams they face, like Purdue and other places. I mean, so I think this is a problem. That's why I like this USC matchup. And nothing USC can do. USC 1 has got a little bit of a rough path going here, but they can put a nail in the coffin in their rival, kick Notre Dame out of the playoff, and USC can solidify their chance at a playoff bid and by winning this game. I think this
not
is a
to
good
mention if Notre Dame's out of the playoff, that increases their chance of getting in as an at-large team.
Yeah, and then USC gets a bye, and then they'll play Nebraska November 1st, which almost feels like a play-in game for that 4th Big Ten spot going into the playoff.
Yeah.
So,
well, because the 3rd goes to Oregon, probably, right?
Oregon. I mean, you're assuming probably Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State.
Yeah.
But then it looks like if USC wins this game, it looks like those two are headed for maybe the 4th spot.
Right. Okay.
Perhaps.
Gotcha.
Anyway. All right.
The other game we have to talk about, the huge rivalry taking place in the Beehive State. It's the Holy War. Hey, man, this is one of the most hated rivalries in all of college football, and it's criminally underrated how much these two teams hate each other. I don't know if you've been dialed in this week, but a BYU fan was arrested for making threats that he would unalive anyone wearing Utah gear at the Provo Stadium. 3 years ago, a Utah fan was arrested for allegedly threatening to try and sabotage the nuclear reactor on BYU's campus.
These people are crazy.
These people hate each other so much. They are insane. All right. These two teams are despising each other. And let me tell you what, I have no idea who's going to win this game. I'm not betting it. I'm so excited to watch it. I think probably Utah wins, but I just don't, they're not dependable, man. Every time can't count on them to win. I don't think BYU is actually as good as their record says they are. I think everything in the statistics bears out that they're probably should be more of a 2 or 3 loss team. And Utah, well, they have those dudes on the O-line, and Devin Dempierre has been good. They just haven't lived up to that potential on the offensive line. Like those NFL guys, you should be whooping people, and they're just not. And so I don't know if I can count on Utah to go into Provo at night. Provo at night is cursed, by the way. That is a tough place to play. Not a small stadium either. People think the Big 12, it's like 68,000 in there. And they sell that place out. They are loud. They are rowdy in Provo. And they're going to be dialed for this game. So I lean BYU, but anything could happen in this game. I'm excited to watch it. It's a great team. This is the first time that both teams in the Holy War have been ranked in over 15 years. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'll look forward to watching. I'd lean Utah in this game. I don't have any strong. I don't think BYU's numbers seem inflated given the competition they played. So
yeah.
All right, real quick. I've got one on a lock for the week. Missouri is going into Auburn. Missouri's a 1.5 point favorite. Sorry, Nacho Man. I'm gonna take Missouri minus 1.5. I think Billy Napier's got a job. I think if Hugh Freeze loses this one, it's probably not going to be much.
I'm actually with you on that. Give me Missouri minus 1.5. I have that as a bet as well.
Yeah. I don't have any more locks for the week. I think there's a couple. I'll probably keep my eyes on Texas, Kentucky. I think that could get interesting, a little spicy. I don't think Kentucky is very good, but I'd like to just see which Texas team shows up. Maryland, UCA could get fun to watch. I think just from
Maryland, UCLA will be fun.
It's just, if you just like football, that'll be Nacho Man does not like our picks. I didn't think he would. If you just like football, keep an eye on Maryland, UCLA. That may just be fun football, man. That's all it is.
Yep. Totally agree there.
All right. So, all right. Well, I'll be pulling for Auburn, but I just, if I gotta, I have a feeling. So.
Yeah. All right. That's kind of where we're at.
That's what we're doing. A good weekend of football. Good stuff. Mid-October. This is awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
I know if how good a mood you'll be in, depending on what Baylor does on Saturday.
Oh yeah, but this is gonna make or break my week. I'll go through the picks again one more time. Texas Tech -7.5, USC +9.5, Vanderbilt -2.5, Georgia Tech +1.5, Baylor +3.5, Miami -13.5, Missouri -1.5.
My locks of the week are Vandy -2.5, Miami -13.5, Mizzou -1.5, USC +9.5. I'll take that. Texas Tech -8.5, and Georgia Tech +1.5.
Dad, you don't want to hit the Auburn alt line -13.5.
No, I don't, man. Although I might just put a few shekels on that just in case it hits.
Oh man, dude,
I wonder what I'm getting on that. So
you're getting lottery numbers, is what you're getting.
There you go. I got to pay for college somehow for some of these kids. So.
Right. Groceries and rent depend on these locks.
Jake, trust Ed.
You can count on me to help you win, depending on the situation. I don't know. We'll see. All
right.
Okay.
All right. Well, good. Well, enjoy the week, and we'll be back either Sunday or Monday night. Probably what? What do you think, Jake? Monday night?
Yeah, maybe we could do Sunday. Who knows?
I could actually do a Sunday night this week if we need to.
Yeah, might
we may have an emergency. We may need to do Sunday night because there may be some firings on Sunday.
Maybe some coaching firings.
We may need to talk.
Who knows?
I may need to get a bottle of champagne and pop a cork in that bottle Sunday night.
Yeah, sources are telling me Billy Napier may be gone.
Yes, that loud scream you hear will be me celebrating. So anyway.
All right.
We're good. All right. Enjoy the Saturday. Enjoy the games.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is me clapping.
Yep. Have a good night.
Good night, America. Oh, make sure to like and subscribe and hit all the buttons and engage on social media. Bye. Why is it? It's not turning off. I think my streaming software is frozen. It's weird. Bro, I can't end the stream. What is happening?
You can't end the stream?
I can't end it. It's not ending. No, the stop button is broken. No. All right. I'm not quite sure. What do I do here?
What happens if we just exit?
I don't know. Try exiting.
All right. See you later.
See ya. What the heck? It's literally frozen. Huh.